石子能抛洒在混凝土表面上吗？石子能抛洒均匀吗？石子应该选择多大颗粒的呢？石子每平方米的用量是多少公斤呢？完工后的效果好看吗？地面会空鼓和开裂吗？
Sprinkle the ground with water. The purpose is to reduce dust generation during operation. Start the milling machine to carry out milling and drawing treatment on the ground. The purpose is to remove the floating mud from the ground. Make the ground rougher. Make the ground more cohesive. The rougher the ground, the more adhesion there is. If conditional, you can use a high-end milling machine that can walk automatically. After all the milling on the ground is completed, use a broom to gather dust on the ground. Then use a shovel to shovel the dust concentrated on the ground to the bucket truck, transporting all the dust from the ground. Then use water to remove dust from the ground. Mud sand rinse off. Conditional at home can be rinsed with a high-pressure washer. The effect will wash cleaner. After the ground is fully flushed, sprinkle water for maintenance for 24 hours. The purpose is to mix the land and get enough water. Make concrete floors more cohesive. Use the water pusher to push the excess water off the ground. Pour the interface agent into the bucket. Pour the cement into the bucket. Add water to the bucket. Interface agent, cement, water ratio is 1:1:3. Sprinkle the mixed interface agent on the ground. The purpose is to enhance the adhesion between the concrete and the base. It's very permeable. It's super bonded. Usage economy. Simple construction, and it's a very important and critical material. It can avoid and prevent hollowing in the later stage of the ground. Risk of delamination and delamination. Recommend everyone to use. Avoid greater economic losses in the later stage. Spread the screen on the ground. The purpose is to avoid and prevent risk of late ground cracking. The diameter of this use is 4 millimeters. The mesh is 16 Chemex 18 cm mesh. Install the receiver of the laser leveler. Pull the concrete to the designated location on a preliminary leveling of concrete. Scrape the concrete with a laser scraper. The stones we use this time are green stone, red stone, black stone, shiraishi. Mix the four colored stones evenly. The size of the stone is preferably about 1.5 to 2 centimeters. Put the stones prepared in advance. Spread evenly on the surface of the concrete. We use the process of scraping and throwing while flattening this time. The more evenly the stones are thrown, the better it looks when polished. There can't be too many impurities in the stone. Too many impurities will reduce the hardness of the surface. The label of concrete is preferably above C30. If the concrete label is too low, when polishing later, there will be a lot of pockmarked noodles and a lot of holes. The best collapse is 160180. No fly ash added. The thickness of the cushion should not be less than 4 centimeters at the thinnest part. The thinner the cushion, the greater the risk of its hollowing and removal. Wait for the concrete to mud after 3-4 hours. Install the disc using a single disc polisher. Perform the first milling and pulp extraction, rolling stones into the interior of concrete. The corners are manually smoothed with rubber sheet. With a drive-by polisher, repeated grinding and pulping of the ground. The purpose is to completely cover the stone. To bind stones to concrete slurry. When the surface layer starts to set, the pulp will be collected. Install the blade with a polisher for a full polish treatment. According to design requirements, measure and mark on the ground. Strike the line on the ground with ink bucket line. Use a cutter to cut along the ink bucket line. Rinse the mud from the gap with water. Clean the mud inside the gap. It's for future caulking. Sprinkle a lot of water on the ground for maintenance. Lay out geotextile and use it again. Sprinkle water on the geotextile for maintenance. The purpose is to prevent the water in the concrete from evaporating too quickly. Form dehydration will affect the overall strength and produce turtle cracks. After the cushion is completed, it is best to test grinding every 3 minutes per day or more, lest the ground be too hard to grind. First, put the 16 mesh metal cutter head installed on a large grinder. Start the large grinder. First horizontal and vertical grinding of the ground. Stones are thrown on the concrete surface. The optimum grinding time is, test grinding will be carried out in 3 or 4 days. If there is no jumping stone and flying stone phenomenon, it can be officially ground, due to the fact that the concrete label used this time is too high, and the number of days apart is relatively long. The hardness of concrete is quite strong, but we have adopted this. Wireless remote control large grinder. The machine uses a wireless remote control drive function. It can help our workers. Relieves the fatigue of pushing the machine under the strong grinding of the 4 die heads. With a sharp and wear-resistant 16 mesh metal grinding head, let our workers easily completed the polishing of the foundation ground. After comprehensive polishing is completed, use a dust pusher to concentrate the dust on the ground. To shovel the dust onto the bucket with a shovel and ship to the designated location for unified stacking. Sprinkle water on the ground. Use 30 mesh metal cutter heads. Continue to polish the ground horizontally and vertically. Haste makes waste. You can't walk too fast. The overall effect after completion is good or bad. Basic sanding is quite an important step. During the grinding process, choose a sharp and wear-resistant knife head, and that is crucial and important. Good quality grinding head can really help us improve faster grinding efficiency, lower grinding costs. After many repeated grinding, it can be clearly seen on the ground now. Stones and accessories have been exposed. The main purpose of this step is to eliminate the previous step. Leave scratches. After comprehensive polishing is completed, use a dust pusher to concentrate the dust on the ground. To shovel the dust onto the bucket with a shovel and shipped out to unified stacking at the specified location. Install 80 mesh metal cutter head. Start the grinder. Grind the ground back and forth horizontally and vertically. This time, the whole process of dry grinding is adopted. The advantage of dry grinding is that dust is better handled than mud, less pollution to the wall and the environment. The disadvantage is that the cost of dry grinding is relatively high. There are also certain requirements for machinery and equipment. The advantage of water mills is that they are more efficient because water softens the ground. It also functions as a lubricant. The disadvantage is the later mud treatment. The cost will be higher. If there is cracking in the floor, there is a possibility of water seepage in the ceiling. I personally prefer dry grinding. Dry mill or water mill, which do you think is better? Welcome to leave a message in the comment area after the 80 mesh metal cutter head is fully polished. Use a dust pusher to concentrate the dust on the ground. to shovel the dust onto the bucket with a shovel and ship to the designated location for stacking. Put the number 1 resin dry grinding disc. Install on the machine. Start the grinder. Continue to polish the ground horizontally and vertically. This time, the construction process of full dry grinding is adopted. The size of this resin grinding disc is 4 inches. It can quickly eliminate scratches on the ground. It helps us improve grinding efficiency. Reduce grinding costs. It's quite time-consuming and laborious to polish the foundation. Is also quite important. After the number 1 resin grinding disc is fully polished, use a dust push to concentrate the dust on the ground and clean up. Use number 2 resin dry grinding discs. Start the grinder. Continue to polish the ground horizontally and vertically. After many repeated grinding, it can be clearly seen on the ground now, has revealed beautiful colorful stones and aggregates. Not a lot of dust is generated during the mold trial. After the number 2 resin grinding disc is fully polished, use a dust push to concentrate the dust and clean it up before the next construction can proceed. Put water in the bucket. Open the barrel with iron pliers. The ratio of water to curing agent is 3:1. Stir the ingredients well. Splash the curing agent on the ground with a water scoop. Push it with clean dust. Drag the curing agent evenly on the ground. The amount of curing agent is about 0.2 kilogram per square meter. It needs to be soaked for 4 hours and keep the ground moist all the time. Allow the material to fully penetrate inside the pores of concrete. If there are dry areas on the ground, you need to use a dust push to drag the material evenly again. After soaking for 4 hours, wait for the materials on the ground to dry to proceed to the next step of construction. Dry grind with number 3 resin. It can be clearer now. See more intuitively. Beautiful colored stone aggregate has been exposed on the ground. The main purpose of this polishing is to remove scratches left by the previous step after the number 3 resin grinding disc is fully polished. Use a dust push to concentrate and clean up the dust to proceed to the next step of construction. Dry grind the number 4 resin disc. Install on the machine. Start the grinder. Continue to polish the ground horizontally and vertically. The main purpose of this polishing is to remove scratches left by the previous step. After the number 4 resin dry grinding disc is polished, push the dust off the ground with a dust push. At this time, the ground has a slight gloss. Put the number 5 resin dry polishing sheet. Install on the machine. Start the grinder for full grinding and polishing. During the polishing process, machines can't run too fast. Walk slowly. In fact, if you touch the temperature on the ground with your hands, it's hot, because it is the light thrown by physical dry grinding. It's not about brightener. After comprehensive polishing is completed, then use a high-speed polishing machine to install a polishing pad to fully polish the ground again. It can be put into use immediately after the overall ground is completed. Do not slip to achieve clean light. The gloss reaches more than 40 degrees. Wear resistant, pressure resistant, and easy to clean.